Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Denise Belisle, and I'm a serenity expert, and I'm here with MinkLife Motivation. And today we're talking about, are you struggling with focusing? Hello, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to MinkLife Motivation Live. And I'm happy to be here with it today with Millen Livis. So welcome, Millen.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited about this opportunity to talk to you and your audience. Thank you.
That'll be great. We're going to have a great show today. So we're here to if you're watching the show, please leave a comment in the chat. And also, the way the show is working is we have a series of questions. We're both going to answer those questions, and then we'll see. Hope we get lots of value out of that. So the first question is, why is focusing on you do best for professional to thrive in our life and businesses? Millen.
Why focusing on me? I just want to make sure I understood the question. So, why focusing on me or on what I do?
On you do best. Why focusing on what you do best for professional to thrive in life and business?
I think that each person has strength, stronger sides of talent, right? Certain talents that make this person more powerful in a particular area of expertise. And when you focus on this particular area of expertise, you can make better impact and influence other people in the areas that they probably will benefit from learning from you. Because when you do something that you're good at, you enjoy it, you love it, and that allows other people to feel your energy, because we communicate not only with words but with energy too, and inspire and motivate other people as well.
Thank you so much, Millen. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I know, like, focusing on what you do best, I mean, isn't it the purpose of doing our own business and working is focusing on what we do best, and in doing that, that will help us into helping people around us and make our business thrive. So because I have found people actually that are trying to build a business, and they don't focus on what they do best. And what happened is that it's important to not be afraid to share and to give away, not give away, but have other people do things that you don't do best. Concentrate on what you do best in your business. And by doing that, you will have more energy to really rock in your business. And if you're not very good at copywriting or writing your script or doing post on Facebook or all of that, well, delegate. And by delegating, then you will have better success in your business, because all the energy that some people spend on working on creating things that it's not their zone of genius, that really doesn't help them, and it makes them stressed out, and it makes them really feel that they have way too much stuff to do, not enough time, and they cannot serve their people properly. So this is why I feel that it's important to really do what you're best at. Mhm.
You just use the words that I was looking for. Focus on your zone of genius, because sometimes we focus on what is trendy, what brings more money, but ultimately money always follows when you are good at what you do, when you're
Yeah.
excellent at what you do. And usually it's your zone of expertise, the talents, or there may be some kind of qualities, even your personality, that helps you to be the best in what you do. And anyway, that should be ultimately the goal of any entrepreneur or professional, to be excellent at what you do. Not perfect, but excellent.
Yeah, I agree with you, Millen, because I found that sometimes people they say, "Well, I can't afford to delegate," but then they waste so much time doing the things they're not good at, that if they were to focus their energy on serving their clients, they would have more money to delegate, right?
I
And
Yeah, I agree, but I also, in real life, if you just at the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey, sometimes you have to have wear multiple hats, right?
yeah.
So you've got to basically know, like, for example, I'm not big fan of marketing and sales, but I had to learn this, right?
Mhm.
Until I got my business to the point that I can outsource.
Yeah.
So it's all about evolving in the direction that you want to evolve. And something else I want to mention, that sometimes people just say, I want to, like, I had someone who said, I want to be plastic surgeon because they make a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
And then this person was studying and investing a lot of money. And at the end, it's like, it's not what I want to do. So sometimes people run enthusiastically in the wrong
Mhm.
direction.
Yeah.
So it's very important to kind of get to know yourself first before you decide that, I want to do this because it brings me a lot of money. So I think knowing yourself and also
Mm.
knowing who you want to serve, your ideal clients, will help you to identify what direction you want to ride
I
around
totally agree with you.
enthusiastically toward,
Absolutely.
right?
It's so important to really ask yourself the question, why do I want to do that, and why is that so important to me? If it's money is just the only motivator, that fades
You will
away really quickly.
self-sabotage. Usually you will self-sabotage.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then we have a comment that was, get to know yourself and monetize your strength. Absolutely, I agree with that. Thanks, Monica. All right, our next question: why are you passionate about helping people with being able to focus using your zone of genius? Go ahead, Milan.
So my zone of genius is to help people to have more money with less stress and less risk, right? And ultimately, my goal is to help my clients and everyone who I get in contact with, to inspire them and show them the way to become financially independent. Because I have a strong belief that everybody has capacity to be financially independent. Doesn't mean that everybody will be, but everybody has this capacity. And it's just like, everybody has capacity to be a parent. That doesn't mean that you have to be or that you will be, but you have this capacity. So being very clear about your values will help you to focus on what is important and align your choices, your decisions, and your actions with your goals and values. Because when you don't know your values and you just randomly make decisions and take actions that are not aligned with ultimately what you want to experience in life, you may sabotage yourself. So like I said, I absolutely uh, adore to work with people, with women and men who feel that freedom is important for them, and that they are willing to do whatever it takes to know how to win the money game. Because I believe that money is a game, and many people lose it before they even start, because financial ignorance is very, very expensive. So, what I want to help my clients to do is to learn how to win the money game. And it just happened to be my zone of genius.
Wow, that's amazing. Yes, and I've encountered people also with when they're afraid of, financial, like for what you do, right? And people are they focus so much on the lack that they block themselves from receiving, right? They focus on the lack of money, so that closed doors in my mind that help them, not receiving what they want to receive. So And winning the game. Yeah, Monica said, I love that. Winning the game, the money game. Absolutely. All right. So why am I passionate about helping people with being able to focus using my zone of genius or their zone of genius? Is like, as a serenity expert, what I found is too often, and I that's what I was bringing up, is that people have a negative mindset towards, they always think about what they don't want. The brain doesn't understand no. If I say don't think about a pink elephant, woof, pink elephant in your mind. So anytime you say something in your brain, whether it's say, oh, I don't want to be poor, well, poor, I'm going to be poor, like anything you say that's negative will influence your life in the negative, in what you don't want to have. So why don't we say, hey, I want to have more money than I need, and I want to be able to give to other and support other too. I want to have, everything I desire in my life. I want to have a wonderful relationship. And that's why for me, mindset, and that's, as a serenity expert, I've been, doing meditation for over 40 years and working on myself for pretty much that long. And that's what I realize is the positive thinking and the way you focus your thought will bring you what's in your mind. So thought and words and action are all linked together. So be careful, because when you tell your brain something, that's what's going to happen. So be careful to talk in the positive, talk in what you want to accomplish in your life. And by doing that, you're going to be able to create amazing things in your life. And that's what I teach my clients. That's what I help my clients do, is to shift their mindset so they can shift from crisis to oasis. And when you do that, it's because you groove different path in order to be able to create new beautiful things in your life. So I want that for everyone.
Denise, if that's okay, I would like to add
Of
something to
course.
what you said, that, people tend to focus on what they don't want. And I also want to add that we often tend to focus, and that's how human brain works. We focus on what is missing, right? What we don't have. And
Yeah.
it's very, very important when you want something to start noticing that you already have this, because you cannot have what you don't already have. Like, if you want more abundance in your life, start focusing abundance in your
Of
life
what you have.
right
Yeah.
now, not
Hmm.
when you will get tons of money
Yeah.
and
I
mansions and
agree with
yachts
that.
and
It's beautiful.
planes, right? Right now. That's how it works. It's not like, I want something, I would be happy when I have it. No, you have to be happy now and feel abundant now. And then you will see this abundance manifested in material things in your life. That's what I believe. That's what I live by.
That's wonderful. I love that, Millen. I think it's amazing. And it goes with, be more grateful for everything you have in your life. Like be grateful for everything. Like be grateful for technology we have around us. Be grateful for, the more we're being grateful, the more grateful things to be grateful for is going to come to us. Right?
Because fear is a language of scarcity,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
gratitude is a language of love,
Yeah,
or
I
vice
love
versa.
that.
Love is a language of gratitude. Yeah, gratitude is a language of love. So I think it's very important to really understand your emotions, and um, not allow yourself to feel them, but be aware of them and be like
Mm,
an observant, and navigate, like, what do you want to feel, because you have a choice. You can always
yeah,
choose what you focus on. And once you uh, choose what you focus on, if you focus on gratitude, you cannot feel uh, fearful, you cannot feel angry.
hmm,
It's just not possible to experience these emotions at the same time. So that's why it's very, very important to know that you have a choice what you focus on.
that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Millen.
My pleasure.
She's a genius. She's awesome. Uh, so Monica says fear is the language of scarcity. It's very powerful. Absolutely. I agree with that. So next question. How has not being able to get in the zone been a problem for you in the past, and how did you overcome it?
Um, I just want to make sure that I understand. So, how not being in a zone affected me? In a zone meaning
Like being in
zone
your
of
zone of
genius.
genius, like
Zone of
being at your
genius.
empowered.
Yeah. Well, it makes you feel less than.
Mhm.
It makes you feel not good enough, right? So, and that's why I think earlier I said that I always start when I work with my clients, I always start with mindset because it's very, very important to know yourself, right? Know thyself before you start doing anything else. Because, for example, if I wanted to be a world famous, I don't know, skier or tennis player, right? So, and I will start doing that because I decided that that's what I want to be without knowing myself, without knowing that, you know what, it's probably not my zone of genius. I can still enjoy playing tennis, but it doesn't mean that, you know, I was meant to do that kind of work in a life that create that kind of impact in the world, and that will make me feel like I'm not good enough, I'm less than, right? Maybe even lead to comparison. So I always remind my clients that you've got to really be observant and notice what makes you feel joyful, what makes you
Mhm.
feel confident, what makes you feel excited about your life, what makes you feel alive. So many people don't feel alive these
Mhm.
days, right? We just go through the routine, but we don't feel alive. So that's, I would say, when you're not in your zone of genius and you do something that maybe is not meant for you to do in the world as your main, as living on purpose, that's how you feel. You don't feel fully alive.
Mm. Yeah, that's really important to really feel alive in whatever you do. And if you don't, well, talk to one of us because we can help you find your alignment. And for me, I've had time. Of course, I said earlier that I've been doing meditation for over 40 years and then I've worked on myself, but hasn't always been, rosy and flowers and beautiful. I've had my ups and downs and I can remember that about 15 years ago, I was in a relationship where I didn't really hit my zone of genius. I let myself go. I was not happy. And it could show. It could show in my relationship. It could show in the way I behave and show in the what I was eating because everything is linked. Like if you're not happy, if you're not like for me, I work about serenity, but if you're not in alignment with being serene and happy and be thankful like grateful like Millen was saying earlier, my life was just going down the tank. And that's when I started to work on myself even harder and even deeper, meaning switching really my mindset and making changes, get rid of the boyfriend and keep when working more on myself and loving myself unconditionally and then developing myself more. And then I regained that power that I've had within myself. I stopped blaming others and I took responsibility for my life, and that allowed me to really regain my zone of genius and feeling whole and feeling connected with myself and better connection with others also. Because if you're broken, if your own self is not aligned, then your relationship with your people around you and the relationship with the community will be all misaligned. You will find all the negative in the world and you will find all the bad things about other people and people will be pointing finger at you. But when you take care of yourself, which I've worked on and more after my downfall 15 years ago when I started working on myself, everything changed in my life. Everything became more beautiful. So there's no like it's no point of I can't change anymore. I'm done. That's it. I can't. No, there's always ways to change. There's always ways to every morning you can wake up and say, okay, right now I decide that this is the path I want to take. There's always a way to decide that what happened yesterday is behind me and I can't change it, but I can choose how I want to be today and how my life is going to be. It might not be easy. Nothing is easy. You got to work on it. But then as you move forward, then you will have so much better result when you make that decision. If you have to make that decision every hours, you make that decision every hours because your brain wants to go back. You're being pulled like a bungee cord, right? But you pull back and say, no, my direction is this way and I want to be this way. That's the person I want to become. So that's
Denise, I want to add something, if
of
that's okay.
course, absolutely, Millen.
Because you brought up something that is important. That sometimes we think that if I only had this boyfriend, if I only had enough money, then everything would be okay. Guess
Yeah.
what? I came to the United States from Lithuania, and I didn't speak English. And then, through hard work and efforts, I became an executive on Wall Street. And I was not aware that it was not my zone of genius. So one day I was sitting in this beautiful office with a view on downtown Manhattan. I look at my screen and I said, "Do you see yourself living that way for the next 20 years?" Because I didn't feel fully alive.
Mm-hmm.
I created my American dream,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I was not in my zone of genius. I
Yeah.
was doing something that was giving me really, really cushy paycheck, but it was not fulfilling. So, and that's when I realized that I cannot continue like that. That's when I
Mm-hmm.
walked away from my loveless but financially comfortable marriage, from
Yeah.
my meaningless but financially comfortable career, and eventually became entrepreneur. And I mean, it's a long story for
Yeah,
another
yeah. Well, you climbed the ladder, but it was the
opportunity,
wrong ladder. You had to
right?
go
But
and go down and go pick another ladder to go in,
but
right?
when you can be yourself, and where you feel fulfilled because you focus on giving is very important. Giving what you are full of, right? I'm full of love. I'm full of
Mhm.
experience around money, investing, etc. When you can give, then you receive. And that's why it's very, very important to really know yourself and know your zone of genius. And that will help you to feel fully alive, because we fulfillment is not just having money and having cars and having mansions and whatever else you want to have.
Yeah, fulfillment starts from within, absolutely.
You want to see how you help other people to be
Mm.
happier, to be more confident, to be healthy, etc., etc. So I just wanted to say
Thank you,
that
Millen.
it's very, very true that you can feel broken inside and maybe not even realize that.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Thank you for adding that up. It was very valuable. So now, who should you ask for help when you are trying to improve your focus? Go ahead, Millen.
I personally like to read. I'm a vivid reader, right? And uh, I learned from personal experience that sometimes, no matter how smart you are, no matter how experienced you are, you just need external help, because you cannot see the label on the jar if you are inside the jar, like my coach likes to say, right? So it was moment in my life when I graduated from very prestigious business school, the Wharton Business School. I had experience on Wall Street. And when I was broke, divorced, and depressed, I realized that I need help. It was very humbling experience for me to realize that, because I was like, I'm smart enough. I can figure it out. No, I couldn't. I was at the end of my rope. I couldn't figure it out,
Mhm.
because sometimes you're too close to the picture of your situation and you don't see things clearly. And that's when I had enough wisdom to ask for help. And I remember talking to this coach. He asked me, we had a very interesting conversation, and I kept saying, I'm such a failure, I'm such a failure. And he said,
Mhm.
you're not a failure. failure is not a person, it's an experience. It has the beginning and the end. And then he said, I really think you should work with me. And my first reaction, I didn't have money. My first reaction was, I can afford you. And he said, my dear, you cannot afford not to work with me. And he was right. This decision, I had to borrow money from my mother, who was saving money for her funeral, to work with him, and at that time it was very huge commitment for me,
Yeah.
because I knew that if I commit to this, I have to pay her back, like, right away, as soon as I could. And I did this. So what I'm trying to say is that it's important to be humble enough to ask for help,
Mm.
and then make the decision to find a way to do what it takes to get this help, and commit to this decision so that you will get the results that you intend to get. Okay, make the decision, and then make the decision right, and commit to this. Commitment is huge. And so that's one thing. And then I also learned that it's important to have mentors or coaches in different areas. Like, I have a coach for speaking, I have a mentor, I have spiritual mentors, I have marketing coaches. So, I realize how important it is to invest in myself. And as an investor, I don't look at the amount of investment. I look at how much I can expect to get back. And so far, investment in myself was the best, provided, yielded the best returns in my life. And I invested in all kinds of assets, but I'm the most valuable asset I have in my life. And investing in myself yielded the best results so far. So if any of you who are watching us right now, or listening us, just know that you are the most valuable asset you will ever have. And investing in yourself, in your growth, in your knowledge, in your experience, will always yield the best results you can possibly get from any investment. I would not be where I am right now if I did not invest in myself.
Well, I think you've said it all. What can I add to that? I think that was pretty good. And not be afraid to ask for help, not be afraid to, like, often people say, "Oh, I can do that on my own. I can do it all." But in reality, more minds, even if it's just going to mastermind, like to grow, join a group and join a community where you have several people, like here in MinkLife Motivation, we have a community also where people get together. And I've done it several times. We have a Zoom that's there all day long, and we jump on the Zoom and, hey, I have a question. Who can help me? And then we chit chat, we exchange, we support one another. And I think that's the best way, is to have people around you to support you. And as you mentioned, like, often we cannot afford not to hire a coach, because coaches are there, and you have to seek the right coach, obviously. But there's always someone, like, if we're here, there's always someone that is there that can support you, and you can help the people that are below you in any area of your life. And there's always someone that knows more than you and can support you. Seek for mentors. If you don't have, mentors are often there to support you and guide you, but to listen to you and to brainstorm with you. And it's different from a coach. But look at the different help you can find out there. Go to networking group and look at the people around you, and then contact them afterwards and say, hey, let's have a chat, let's see how we can support one another. Like, there's
And
so
Denise,
many
I
ways.
just want to add something here, because I love what you just said. And I want to mention that sometimes we don't know how to, like, who to consider as your coach, who to hire, who to work with, right? And my criteria is to find someone who achieved what you want to achieve in life, right? Accomplished what you want to accomplish, or became a person that you aspired to become. And like my huge motivation and reward was when I heard from several women who said, I always wanted to be financially free, but I thought it's not possible for me because I'm not a movie star. I didn't, I was not born into wealth. I didn't marry into wealth. And she told me that if common woman like you could become financially independent, I can do too. So for me, it became such a motivation when I realized that I can model what is possible for other women just by living the message that I have, that everybody has capacity to be financially free. But it's not enough to say it. When whatever you teach, like in your case, you serenity expert, if you model how you can embody that, and other women or men or whatever, everybody can see that it's possible for them to be serenity serene person, or become serenity expert. That's the best you can give to the world, right? By showing others what is possible for them, by modeling them. Because I think a lot of people don't even go for something because they don't think they don't think it's possible for them, because they don't see these models in their lives, in the immediate family, maybe, or among their friends, right? So for me, it was a huge motivation and inspiration to continue doing what I'm doing, because I realized that, oh my gosh, I can model to others what is possible for them in terms of becoming financially free. That it's possible, that it's possible to live in two countries, that it's possible to have a happy marriage and business, and be healthy, etc., right? So very, very important to be aware of what you model to others. How do you affect other people and your community around you by being who you are and who you want to become.
Thank you, Millen. Thank you. So what's next here? What is the one tip for calibrating your life by focusing on getting in the zone? So do you have one tip?
I meditate every day. Okay, I cannot imagine living my life without. I exercise every day and I meditate every day, and I cannot imagine not making time to connect to my higher self. So I would say, if one advice that I could give, it would be absolutely find a way to meditate. It could be 10 minutes, sometimes it's 7 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. You need to make time in your busy life to connect to the creator, to your higher self within you, because you have this amazing power. You know that this stream of consciousness is flowing through you at all time, and you can connect to this stream of consciousness. And that's the way for you to ground yourself, to center yourself. So that's the requirement when people want to work with me. I want to make sure that they're willing to make time to meditate every day.
Thank you, Millen. Thank you. I think the one tip I can give is to really understand your purpose and really understand your why you want to accomplish something, and what's your purpose in life. What do you want to accomplish? And once you set that out, once you set up that foundation, it's like building a house. Before you build your house, you have to set up that foundation. And if you want to build a house just on dirt, and your house might fall apart because you don't have a strong foundation. So building your foundation, building your why, your purpose, what do you want to accomplish in life, will help you really able to get where you want to go. So just build a strong foundation, and then your house will stand and you'll have success in all area of your life. And now we have some announcements. So, Millen, what do you have to announce for us?
Well, I would like to offer a gift actually. It's a wealth planner that you can download at the link that you can see on the screen there, to changelife.com/wealth hyphen planner. And this wealth planner will help you to organize your thoughts, organize your focus, right? Like, not organize your focus, organize your documents, and use your focus very like a laser focused efforts on what you need to do now. So it's a combination of mindset work on practical money management work, right? And it incorporates also some elements of how to become strategic investor. So I think this wealth planner will help you start your journey to financial independence. If that's what you want to achieve in life, if you want to become financially free, wealth planner will help you start this journey.
Thank you so much. And for me, I would like to offer you to have a call with me. So it's calendly.com/serenity expert. And you can book a call with me. And I would like to support you into finding your ultimate goal and where you want to go in life. And then I can help you break it down into little pieces so that you know exactly what you need to do today in order to accomplish your goals. And in that call, I mean, the initial call is just to get to know one another and to see where you want to go. And then after that, we can set up a second call if you feel that that's a match. And then we can work on finding out your breakthrough and what do you need to do in order to move forward in life and create the serenity you want, so that you can shift from the crisis to the oasis and find your new path to the life that you always wanted to have, but that it's like all bushes like in the Amazon, and we'll take the big knife and we'll cut all those big leaves and we'll create a new path for you so that you can live the life that you always wanted. So I am Fala, and that likes to know what women think. As a senior now, I have had to learn not to sweat the lighting. Thank you, lady, for your program. So do you want to answer that, Millen?
I think it's very wise not to sweat the little things. I like to tell my husband, choose your battles. Okay, so it's very important in life to choose your battles. If something happens, something minor, just make sure that you don't spend your energy and effort on waste your energy and effort on something that is not that important, right? So know your values, know what is important to you, because values determine your choices, your experiences in life. So very, very important. So thank you for sharing this very wise advice,
Yeah, and I agree.
not to sweat the little things.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Michael, also for sharing. And what I found often is people get stuck in the negative, and they get stuck in the negative thinking. And it's the example I love to give is, imagine a hot plate, and when you get close to a hot plate, it's like, oh, that's hot, I don't want to stay there. But too often when people sweat on the little things, that they keep their hand on the hot plate and they say, oh my god, this is so hard, this is so difficult, I'm such a loser, I'm such this and that. And they wonder why it burns and why it's hot and why their life is not moving. So by not sweating on the little thing, it's just like, take your hands off and say, hey, that was hot, I might have burned myself a little bit, but then I'm able to move on, and just to see these things as learning experience, being able to move on in your life and be able to make the changes you need to have. So now let's pass to the community announcement. So let's move on.
Okie dokie. So, this is Monica Henderson, and I'm here to give you your announcements for the MinkLife online community. First things first, if you've enjoyed the show and you want to be a co-host on the screen instead of on your couch, you can be a part of the show. You're just going to go to www.minklifemotivation.com/live live so that you can be on the show. But if you're enjoying the show and you feel like, I love this and I really wish I can listen to it on the go, well, guess what? We have an opportunity for you to do that. Just go to any of the places that your podcast are located, including Spotify, and look for Mink Life Motivation Live and listen to us on the go. The next show tomorrow is going to be with me, Monica Henderson. We're going to help you maximize your business and continue to have these awesome conversations on how you can live healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled. If you need any extra support, we have the availability to support you in some of these things in the Mink Life community. Not only working with people like Millen and Denise, but also with action planning courses and get shit done sessions. They are on our calendar, so you just go to Mink Life MinkLifeUniversity.com so that you can sign up for your first course. And just so you know, we are expanding. We're expanding and building teams all over the world, and we are looking for you. So if you are interested in being a part of the Mink Life Motivation community as a team member, we would love to hear from you. Just go to minklifemotivation.com to find more information about that. And that is all of our announcements today. Back to you, Denise.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Millen, to being part of this show. I think your contribution was amazing. I think you do qualify for badass today. It was it was a very, very good contribution. I really appreciate being in that show with you. So thank you,
so much.
everyone, for attending the show, for listening. And make sure you catch all our episodes because we have always amazing guests like Millen, and it's always something different every time. So make sure you listen to all the episodes.